Hey guys, it's Megan with Project Freya, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hi, my name's Megan. I am a small streamer on Twitch who makes some YouTube content mainly focused on streaming with anxiety and depression. Today's video is going to be a little bit different in that I'm actually going to elaborate a bit on where exactly the depression comes in for me as an individual in streaming and social media and even in life. This may get a bit dark. This is your warning ahead of time. I will also link below just a very straightforward educational video on the condition if that's something that interests you. Mainly going to give a broad idea of what exactly it is and therefore how it impacts me as a streamer, a YouTube content creator, things of that nature. So with that out of the way, we're going to jump right into it. So PMDD. What the heck is that? It's pretty uncommon. It stands for Premenstrual Dysphoric disorder. So this is in people that do have a menstrual cycle. It is still relatively uncommon. It was only made an official diagnosis in 2013. Before that, and even still, there were a lot of doctors who just treated it like it wasn't a real thing. It was often confused for other diagnoses like bipolar disorder or just general anxiety and depression. So again, what exactly is PMDD and how is it different from good old-fashioned PMS? So you may or may not be familiar with what PMS is. It's premenstrual syndrome. Can cause different things, irritability, sleep changes, bloating, cramps. It sucks, you crave things, but it's usually pretty mild and manageable. It does not impact your day-to-day life. Where PMDD differs from that is it is severe enough that it impacts your day-to-day functioning. The way you're diagnosed with it is over most of your cycles, you have to have 5 or more of these symptoms: depressed mood, anger or irritability, trouble concentrating, lack of interest in activities you usually enjoy, moodiness, increased appetite changes, insomnia or the need for more sleep, feeling overwhelmed or out of control, and other physical symptoms, the most common being bloating, breast tenderness, and headache. Again, these symptoms disturb your ability to function in social, work, and other situations. And now these cannot be symptoms that are just exaggerated by another condition. So if you feel depressed all the time, but it's just a little worse before your cycle, that's PME. That's it's exacerbated by your cycle. That's not PMDD. PMDD, it's like, to me, it's like I wake up one morning to a different person inhabiting my body. I am watching this angry, sad, hopeless, just reactionary being taking over my pretty happy self. This person thinks everyone hates them and looks for little signs that prove that everyone around you means badly. Everyone's intentions are to hurt you. Um, the tiniest things that people do will annoy you. You're pretty angry at your loved ones, people that you have around all the time. You'll find it very difficult to do the activities you normally enjoy. In this case, like make YouTube content and play games. You'll have trouble focusing on them if you do them. And when it comes to streaming, like this becomes very difficult because I'm essentially letting another person take over my stream or make content for my channel. I really wanted to bring attention to this because I've mentioned in past videos that I think it's important to like rewatch your VODs and see like what you might be doing wrong. And it's really hard for me to go back and look at VODs that are when I'm in the midst of a PMDD flare up. I don't know what you want to call it. When I'm in that headspace, it's really hard to watch, and I can imagine people that aren't used to seeing me that way. It's got to be like concerning, and I notice that people pick up on it because I mean everything I say is negative. Like everything's a problem. Everything sucks. I'm a failure. I shouldn't be streaming. Like everything's sad. Blah blah blah. And people don't want to watch that kind of content usually, you know, like especially if you're normally like a happy upbeat person, they're not going to stick around like when you're just everything's bad, everything sucks, or you're just not interested in the game you're playing, right? Like and then you're left with, oh great, I had no viewers. See, I am a failure. And this just like reinforces these negative thoughts you're already having. And again, I felt like I finally needed to discuss this topic with you guys after watching the last few VODs, because I want to help people understand if you see me like this is why. My PMDD is pretty unmanaged right now. There's not a whole lot that can be done about it in general. Antidepressants is an option, but I don't have good reactions to them. The only other real option besides antidepressants is a better lifestyle. So, perfect diet that consists of no caffeine or sugar or salt. And I don't know about you, but like, I like food, I like coffee. So, and you have to be pretty perfect with it for it to make a difference. So it's pretty much something that is mostly untreatable and is very poorly managed with me right now. So yeah. So I thought that was kind of important to tell you guys because I've been really struggling with it the past few days, and I felt it was important to talk about right now because as soon as you know, to be honest, as soon as my period starts, I start to feel better, and those thoughts disappear, and I kind of forget about them because they're silly. They're not my thoughts. This really used to mess with me when I was unsure of what exactly was wrong with me, like back before this was a real diagnosis, before I discovered anything about it and did get diagnosed. I would ruin friendships. Like I would get so upset and, you know, irritable, and I would think somebody did was like horrible, and I would overreact and end friendships and make big life choices during this time because I didn't know. My feelings just, they felt that's how I was feeling, like. And then, you know, the cycle would go by and I would come back to my senses and be like, why did I do that? I can't believe I did that. And when I'm younger and, in high school, everything's awkward and everything's stressful. And it didn't occur to me for a very long time that it was attached to the time frame. It wasn't until my early 20s when I finally was like, hey, this only happens like exactly before my period. And I was able to start on my own keeping track of when I felt things. And I eventually came to the conclusion that if I was feeling like everyone hates me and I want to end a friendship, for example, if it fell in the time frame that PMDD would be active, I would write it down. And when everything was done with, if I still felt that way, if I still felt that person was horrible and didn't deserve my friendship, then I would make the decision when I had a clear head. And I quickly found that most, like 99% of the time, I would have regretted doing that stuff in that instance. So what I'm trying to balance now is to try and take heavier control of this condition that, for the most part, is hard to control, right? Like, it's hard to control suicidal thoughts or paranoia. I'm trying to get these thoughts under control enough to just vibe with my chat and play games. So if you've stopped in over the past few days and felt kind of a weird vibe from me and felt like I was being pretty negative and kind of sad or kind of quiet or didn't seem interested, that's why I really think it's important that you guys know what's going on. But I don't want to use it as an excuse. I want to use it as a goal. I also kind of thought that maybe there's a chance there are other people with menstrual cycles that might feel this way, that maybe are looking for proof they're not alone. And maybe we can help each other. I don't know. This whole video concept it's put me outside of my comfort zone, which honestly is kind of the whole point of the streaming journey. Again, if you want to know more specifics or if you think you might be falling into these categories, I will put some resources in the description for you. It's realizing that you have it is the biggest first step to taking control of it. But yeah, sorry for the awkward talk today, guys, and sorry if this isn't really your vibe or your speed or whatever. I felt it felt important to me. I've wanted to make a video about PMDD for a while, but I didn't feel like I was in the best place to do it. But now that I'm like I said, like right at the end of it, just like the thoughts are fresh in my mind. I kind of wanted to put it out there because it kind of has impacted my YouTube content creation. Like, don't get me wrong, there are things that I have on the horizon that I want to do that I just can't do right now. And where I would normally be pretty psyched to make content about something, I found myself with nothing but the negativity to think about. Nothing but nobody watches your YouTube videos and nobody gives a shit. You're gonna fail. People are gonna think your video sucks, like. So, yeah, just wanted to throw this out there. I hope this kind of puts some things into perspective, or I hope somebody out there resonates with it and is like, wow, that kind of sounds like me. And if you want me to do a more in-depth video on my experience with this, what do I do to manage or any of that, let me know. Or if you do suffer from it and you have tips, please let me know. I'm very curious. But until next time, guys, just enjoy some happy Athena content. Try to have a good day. And I'll see you guys in the next one.